Hey guys, this is NinaVida and welcome back to my channel. I did cut my hair. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and if you don't like it, give this video a thumbs up. Hello everyone. I know it's been too long since I filmed my last video. It's been about a month, but so much has gone on, but so much has happened in the past few months, and today I'm going to be talking finally all about Crashpads. I'm going to be talking about my previous crash pad. I'm currently in another crash pad right now, and I'm also moving out to another location in just a few days. So if you guys want to hear all about crash pads, if you want to hear my crash pad horror story, just keep watching. Alright, so to start off, what is a crash pad? I know when I use the term crash pad around flight attendants and pilots, they completely understand what I'm talking about. But when I mention that I live in a crash pad to family and friends, they look at me like, what's a crash pad? So a crash pad is pretty much a house full of flight attendants. It can be an entire house, it can be or like an apartment, and so it's just for flight attendants or pilots, and it's pretty much a place where you just crash for the night. When you're a flight attendant or pilot, you're never really like home, unless you're commuting, but that's like a whole nother story. So pretty much, let's say you're only gonna be in New York City for 10 days out of the month. If you're only gonna be in your base for 10 days or less out of the month, you won't want to spend rent for the entire month, if that makes sense. So you get a crash pad, and whenever you're in town those 10 days, you just sleep there. There are hot beds and there are cold beds in crash pads. Hot beds, I believe, it's where you're sharing the bed. So let's say right now I'm in a room with 4 bunk beds. 2 of the bunk beds are hot and 2 of them are cold. This is just an example. Sorry if I keep looking up. I'm looking at my screen. So right now I would be considered in a cold bed. This is my bed. It has my bed sheets. It's my bed for the entire month or however long I'm there, and no one else can use my bed. If you have a hot bed, I believe I said cold bed. If you have a hot bed, that means it's just your bed for the night. That means it can be your bed on Monday, and on Tuesday, Jimmy can be sleeping in your bed. So that's the difference between like hot and cold beds. For the most part, I've only met flight attendants that have cold beds. Another thing about crash pads is versus getting your own apartment. If you have your own apartment, it's just the apartment, it's just the building. It doesn't come with like furnished, it's not furnished for the most part. You know, you have to buy your bed, you have to buy dining room furniture, kitchen appliances and all of that, Wi-Fi cable, yada yada yada. With a crash pad, it's furnished. You have, for the most part, it's bunk beds. You'll have your bunk bed, you'll have kitchen appliances. It'll come with like a dining room table, a living room, like living room furniture. For the most part, crash pads also supply like toilet paper, paper towels, trash bags, and you really want to find crash pads that do offer that, because if not, you know, if you're living in a crash pad with like 12 people and no one wants to buy toilet paper and you're the only one buying toilet paper and then everyone uses your toilet paper, like it's gonna cause drama. So little things like that I would look into when you're searching for a crash pad. Speaking of, with crash pads, you can be in a 3-bedroom apartment with 12 other people. So it sounds crazy, but it's not. It's normal. When I tell my family like, yeah, it's me and 10 other girls in a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom, they're like, what? That's crazy. So my last crash pad, my previous crash pad, it was 3-bedroom apartment. It had 1 bathroom. So 1 bathroom, 3 bedrooms, living room, kitchen. And I'll show all of this. There was a whole house and it was 4 floors. So we were on the 2nd floor. And you walk in and there's the living room, you know, ironing board, little futon couch, TV which had cable, we had Wi-Fi. It was 3 rooms, Everyone had their name on a little dry erase board. There's my junk. We also had a really big closet in the living room where people put their stuff, but I really didn't have anything in there because there was no room for me. But that is my jacket that is hanging that I don't even know where it is. So yeah, there's the living room. There's my luggage, red bag, and there's the kitchen. It was a pretty spacious kitchen. I really liked the kitchen, except it was a mess like half the time. There's the dining room table, and this was my biggest problem of New York, the transportation. Which, for those of you who don't know, I ended up bringing my car from Florida all the way to New York. And now on to the bathroom. This was our bathroom. It was kind of small, but it did its job. And we had our names on this dry erase board, and we would pretty much, it would either say sleep, awake, or out. Which was pretty nice because when you walked in and you looked on the board, you pretty much saw like who was there and who wasn't. And this was my room. This room was the tiniest out of the 3 rooms. And I had the top bunk, the top right bunk. That was my bunk. And to be honest, it was not the most comfortable. There's all my junk again. For the most part, there was only 2 or 3 girls in this room that was pretty much always there. And there was my tiny, uncomfortable mattress. It was like sleeping on cardboard. But you do what you gotta do. And we also had a closet in this room, but once again, I had no space in it. So I just pretty much left my stuff out. So yeah, that's what my previous crash pad looked like. In that crash pad, there were 2 sets of bunk beds in each room. So in total, there were 12 girls. 12 girls, 3 bedroom, 1 bath. And to be honest, I think the most that I've seen everyone there, or the most people I've seen while I've been there, was like 6 max. At that crash pad, majority of the girls did live there. With crash pads, you can't really live there. You may have like a limited amount of days a month you can stay there. And to be honest, you're working so much that you don't really live at a crash pad, and you don't really have a lot of space to live at a crash pad. I technically lived there because I didn't commute. I didn't, fly to Tampa a lot. I pretty much stayed there. That's why I had a lot of stuff. I had like 3 luggages, but the guy, I'm not gonna say his name, let's call him Jake. Jake didn't really care if people lived there. As long as you pay your $275 a month, you were good. So that's another thing. It was $275, which is super cheap. Crash pads are relatively cheap compared to paying, rent for your own place in New York City. Like, that's crazy. So our rent was $275, and the deposit was another $275. So for the first month, I ended up paying $500. Wow, I'm really bad at math. And that was just the deposit fee for that. I'm also going to talk about what I really liked about this crash pad and what I didn't like about this crash pad. But first, let me tell you the horror story.
That's okay.
You came back from London.
Back from London.
Hey guys, today has been one heck of a day.
Unreal.
I'm here with Ian.
What's up?
And Ray.
How's it going?
They're like matching. They just got back from a trip. Where did you get back from?
I was in, today's been so crazy, I don't even know where I've been.
Yeah. I think I came from Dallas. I just finished a 3-day. He just came back from London.
I came back from Miami. Yeah. That's where I came from.
And we came back to a hot mess. It's like not focusing. Anyways, we're about to go to Target. I have my car, so they're so happy.
We have to buy towels because we are basically homeless from our crash pad.
You stole all our stuff.
Just a lot has happened with our crash pad. Long story.
It'll all be explained in this next clip, right?
Yes.
Am I right? Transition. Bath towel, I like that.
I don't even want to vlog. I look a hot mess, but I must do it for YouTube.
You look fine.
So we're here at Target. These fools have to get a towel.
I just drove the bougiest car in the world to get here.
My tiny little car. How are you guys feeling?
I just need this $4 towel and I'm good for the night.
I'm exhausted, but...
Where did you come from?
I came from London, so I flew for, like, my duty day was like a 10-hour duty day. My body doesn't know what time zone it's at. And I'm basically homeless, so...
Crashpad life.
But we're still here at Target, because you know, even though you're homeless, you still got a ball, so...
You really have to have a sense of humor. I've been laughing all afternoon. Like, my mouth hurts, my jaw hurts.
Laughing so we don't cry.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, you just go crazy.
Okay.
Alright, let's get your steamer.
Steamer and booze.
Alright, we just went to Target and we really hope that my car makes it back to the crash pad because it's being really weird and I'm just over it.
I wish I could show you what it sounds like, but...
Oh, just my life is a mess. Move to New York, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
You'll love it, they said.
You'll love it, they said.
Oh, I'm sticking around for a little bit.
I know. I'm just talking crap.
Nina finally gave in to her true desires.
Oh my gosh.
What do you press?
It's filming. You can just flip it down if you want. Or then if you want to look at yourself, you just flip it up. You could say something.
So, another development in our crazy night. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, Nina's tire. Nina got a flat tire. We all got a flat tire. We all are dealing with this. This is the night that never ends.
This is the night that never ends,
Yeah.
and I have to be up in like 5 hours.
Yeah, homegirl here has training. Wow.
But we're gonna make it.
We are. We're optimists. We're flight attendants. We make things
that
happen.
we made you come with us to Target today.
No, I'm glad.
I'm just
So
glad
do you want to touch a little bit on the crash pad situation? How has the crash pad been the last 2 months for you?
Okay, I lived in the basement of my crash pad. I have no kitchen. I have no living room. I share a bathroom, a tiny bathroom with 6 other boys. Boys are disgusting. Like, I can't tell you how many times on my days off, I have 15 days off a month, I leave, I non-rep, I stay away. If I don't have to be there, I don't want to be there. I pick up 3-day trips so I can avoid living in the crash pad. It's been...
And where are you from?
I'm from Hawaii. I've non-rep to Hawaii. I've taken 11-hour flights just to avoid living at this crash pad.
Oh
It's
my
crazy.
God.
I mean, I'm a little homesick, but besides the point. This situation. Oh, and there's no air. There's no air down there. Like, we have a fan going 24/7 because it's so humid.
Oh my God.
See, we're not even in the thick of summer here in New York, and it's terrible.
This is our life in New York.
Yeah.
But for some positive, it's cheap.
It's very cheap because we're never there. We
It's
literally
$275 a month.
Yes.
But I pay $275 a month with a kitchen, an oven,
It's
and
not
all
fair.
of that.
It ain't fair. What
Yeah.
kind of nonsense is that?
So it's cheap. It's right by the airport.
It's a 10-minute walk to our airport here, local airport.
So there's some good things. Just make sure you do your research because we got this very last minute.
Right. It was all word of mouth from someone who
Yeah.
knew someone, and that's how we got it so quickly. But you really need to shop around.
You really do.
If you can do it in person, that's best because you're gonna be living there.
Yeah.
You need to.
And that's
Make
the
sure.
thing, we can live there. Some people can't live at their
Yes.
crash pad, so
So most crash pads are commuter only, meaning that you can only stay when you have a trip. So you can't stay, like, basically live there. We basically live at our crash pad.
yeah, because he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. There's no time limit to the amount of days we can spend there. Some people have lived at the crash pad for years.
I don't know
so-
how.
I know, they made it work somehow.
I'm
but-
living out of 3 suitcases.
Yeah, and then some.
But yeah, we got my tire filled up with air for the most part, and let's see if we make it home. So long story short, and if you guys don't know this, like, sorry to burst your bubble, or I'm just gonna tell you guys the truth because with my channel, I'm just 100% real with everyone. Crash pads are illegal, and I hope I'm not the one to break it to you. I hope if you've done your research, like, you should kind of know that. And it's illegal because, you know, you can't really, it's not really safe to have 12 people living in a 3-bedroom apartment. Like, it's just really crammed. But there's crash pads all over New York because New York is so expensive. You just really have to do your research. If you can, try to see it in person before you agree to live there. But if not, just, you know, ask for pictures and try to get other flight attendants' advice on maybe where to live. So with our situation, long story short, there was an inspection that was going to happen at our house, at our crash pad. Mind you, it was one big house. The left side was flight attendants, 4 floors, and the right side was pilots, 4 floors. So 4 floors in this big house with like 12 people, at least 10 people on each floor. And we get a text message that there's going to be an inspection and we have to pretty much pack up all of our stuff, and he had to make it seem like it wasn't a crash pad. So in order for that to happen, he decided to take out every single bunk bed in the entire house. That had to be a lot of work, and he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna take out all the bunk beds, do the inspection. In 2 days the bunk beds will be back in the house. So I mean, he was really chill about it, and which made us calm about it. You know, an inspection, okay. A 2-day inspection turned into a 2+ month inspection. I'm out of the crash pad and my friends are still there and they still don't have bunk beds, so it's crazy. But yeah, one thing I really liked about that crash pad was the location. It was walking distance from LaGuardia Airport, so we would just, you know, or I mean, I walked by myself from the airport once, and there was also this bus called the Purple Route, which it's like a block or 2 before the airport. So if you walk to the Purple Route bus, you can take that bus for free to get into the like terminal, which was pretty nice, and that was only like a 5 to 10 minute walk. I really loved how that crash pad was super close to the city. Not that I went to the city a lot, but you know, I opened the front door and I see the Empire State Building and the Freedom Tower building. So I thought that was super cool, and you know, you saw the skyline and the lights at night. I really loved that about it. I met some really cool people. There was a female pilot that was actually in my room, and she was only 25 years old, and I thought that was super cool. And I met this other girl named Marissa who has helped me out so much since the first day that I stepped into that place. What I didn't like so much about the crash pad, I think the thing that I didn't like the most was the kitchen. Like, the fridge was so gross and so filled with food that it was just like a really hot mess. So the kitchen and the fridge was just like a hot mess, but what do you expect when you're living with like 12 people? And the guy who owned the crash pad, he didn't really have any rules. Like, the only rule that he had was no boys allowed in our floor and to pay your rent all the time. Like, that's about it. Some of the floors were co-ed, so some had guys and girls, but ours were just girls. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about my previous crash pad. I am currently in a different crash pad. I ended up moving out for the month of July. I'm going to make a video about this crash pad, and just a little sneak peek. This one was way better. It was so nice. So if you guys would like to see this one, just keep watching. Well, actually subscribe to my channel. Also turn on the little notification bell so you guys know when I post. I'm back. I'm better. I'm feeling great, and so I'm gonna post more videos. I'm so excited. If you're new, like if you're a new subscriber, thank you so much. When I first started YouTube a year ago, I just had a goal. I was like 1,000 subscribers in a year. Like, that's my goal. And it will be a year in August, and I'm a little over 1,300. So thank you so much for helping me grow this channel. I'm doing it to help you guys, to give you all the information that I have and that I can give out. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys on my next video, and also check out the description box for more information.